Welcome to the Fuller Homestead. We're a family of 4 who left the city life behind to pursue a calling on our hearts to raise and grow what we eat while cultivating a life that is intentional, meaningful, and connected to God. I'm Andrea, a homesteading, homeschooling mama of 2. Come join me as I take you into a glimpse of our daily life here on our 40-acre homestead in North Florida. Good morning. This has been a really tough week. And I debated even posting a video about it because it's raw and it's going to be emotional and hard for me to get through. But I think the purpose of this channel is to inspire and show what living out our dream looks like here on this homestead. And homesteading is not easy, and it's not for the faint of heart. And there are really hard times out here through the beauty. There's a lot of good, you know. It's also soul-filling, but there's also heartbreak that comes with it. So, this week was heartbreaking for us. We had a wonderful weekend. It was like so beautiful. We harvested a bunch of honey. We spent a lot of time outside with our animals, and we just had such a great weekend. We dug in with our kids and laughed and played, and I spent a lot of hours in the garden, and it was just really beautiful. We had a wonderful Memorial Day. We spent a lot of time with friends who were family, and we just had a really great time. Then Tuesday, Tuesday was good. I took the kids to go swimming with a friend, and we had a great day. And we came home, and Matt got home, and he went to do animals, and the kids were playing in our pool, and I went to the garden. And that's typically how the nighttime, evening time works for us. The kids play outside or help us, and I garden, and Matt feeds animals, and then as it's getting dark, I'll come out and milk. And I had just gotten into the garden, and I was looking for caterpillars on the tomato plants when my phone dinged, and it was Matt. And he was out in the back pasture. I looked down at the text, and it said, "Babe, Remy's dead." Remy's our guardian dog. So, I jumped in the side-by-side and flew out there as fast as I could, and she was dead in the pasture, just laying there. looked at the feeding trough where the cows were eating, and I realized we were missing cattle. And Remy, she is in pasture with all of our calves, who we wean from their moms. So they're all about 4 to 6 months old when we wean them and we put them with Remy, as well as our goats. And we have 3 boy goats. We have our buck, and then we have the 2 weather goats that are the buck's friends. And I looked over at the trough and I realized not everybody was there. So I said, Matt, we're missing cows. Where are they? And he said, no, everybody's there. I said, no, we're missing 2. And I looked, and so I frantically checked the pasture, and I found Brisket dead in the shelter. And right behind the shelter was Sirloin, also dead. So we had 2 dead cows and a dead dog. Our first immediate reaction was they got into something. They ate something and they got poisoned. So we were looking, and Matt said maybe a predator. We have coyotes that run, so we immediately checked bodies for any sort of markings. Didn't see anything, but we did find these lesions on their bodies. And the more we looked, we found that they were hemorrhaging, which I guess would be a little normal with death, but this was quite a lot. It was a lot of blood. It was a lot of hemorrhaging. Remy's paws were like beet red, and it was a lot to see. And it was just so shaking, We called our dear friends, and they immediately came over just to take a look and get a more grounded, level head. We had no clue what had happened. And one of our friends, both of them are in the medical field, and they know quite a bit about medical things. And immediately it looked and appeared to be something that we probably shouldn't be handling. I don't know, something contagious. It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense that 2 cattle were dead and a dog. If it was just the 2 cattle, we could easily write it off, they got into something in the ground, they grazed something that they shouldn't have grazed. But Remy didn't make sense, because dogs don't graze, and it just didn't make sense. So we immediately went into kind of a quarantine situation, where we handled everything with gloves. We washed up, we sterilized. We didn't let the kids in the pasture. We did, before everybody got here, we prayed over the bodies, and we prayed over our animals, and we thank God for their lives with our kids. But as soon as we realized that the situation didn't look great, we handled it very cautiously, We took samples, just scrapings from all of the animals, to send to lab if necessary. And we went about digging 3 really big holes to bury our animals. We lost Sirloin, who was the first calf ever born here. He was our first Dexter. Lila Mae is his mama. He turned 1 this year in January. So he was about 15 months old, 16 months old, and he was a joy. He was just a sweetheart and always greeted us and loved to be pet. And his name was Sirloin, yes, indeed, because he was being raised for meat. All of our cattle out there are, if they're steers, and they are, because we're the Fuller Homestead and we only know how to have boys around here. So we lost Brisket, Hattie's baby that was born Christmas Eve this past year. He was the youngest out there. He was a bottle baby, so he was so sweet. And we lost Remy. And Remington was such an incredible dog. We got her when she was 13, 14 weeks old as a puppy with Sergeant. They're a brother-sister duo. And she has just been such a blessing to us. Smart. So fiercely loyal, protective. Such a good guardian. She guarded the air from hawks and buzzards and crows. She fiercely loved her cattle. She kept everybody in line. And she was just amazing. I didn't sleep at all Tuesday night. I was just up researching and researching and researching. And it was scary because we've built this beautiful home and we've poured everything we have into it. And we had 3 animals turn up dead and we had no clue what was going on. It felt like we were vulnerable. Felt like, should our kids be playing on the land? Is there something going on? Is there a disease in our soil? There were so many questions. So yesterday, we got up early. Matt had to work, but we started making calls. And we just called everyone we could think of that we know and trust and have good relationships with. And we were just trying to figure out what happened, you know, how could it be? And Matt went to work. We racked our brains. Our 3 goats in the pasture were totally fine yesterday when we found everybody. And we have 2 other calves in the pasture, Archie and Frankie T. And Archie's Clover's baby, and Frankie T is Lucy's baby. And Lucy's no longer with us. We since processed her. But he was the second Dexter ever born on our property. And Frankie was fine. He seemed completely fine, completely healthy, like nothing was wrong. The 3 goats, totally fine. Nothing was wrong with them at all. Archie, on the other hand, wasn't totally fine. Clover's baby. He had the same lesions on his skin, and he didn't look well. at all. And he had like a patch of like really bumpy, kind of hard skin. And I was really worried about him. So when we found everybody that Tuesday night, we gave medicine to Archie, everything we had. We gave him a shot of vitamin B complex. We gave him pain medication. We gave him an antibiotic. And we gave him electrolytes. We just gave him everything we could think to give him to help him with whatever he was dealing with. And our intention was, you know, to make calls if we needed to have the vet come out, to have the vet come out. Matt got in touch with somebody that we get hay from, who's a great person. And he was telling him about it. And every person said, it doesn't make sense. I've never seen cattle and a dog. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Cross species like that, it just doesn't happen. They had to be poisoned. It had to be poisoning. Have you researched rat poisoning? And we were just like, how? How did they get poisoned? And then you feel like attacked for a moment, you know, like, did somebody do this? God, so many emotions in the last 24, 48 hours. When Matt was talking to the hay guy, he said, hey, why don't you give this guy a call? He's really amazing. He's an older guy. We call him Dr. Joe. And he's incredible. If anybody can help you out, he can help you out. So Matt called and he talked to Dr. Joe. And Dr. Joe said, everything that you're telling me is lining up with a zoonotic, which means that it's like multi-species disease. And he said, except the lesions, I just don't understand the lesions. And he said, can you send me a picture? And Matt said, yeah, absolutely. So he sent him a picture of Archie, who also has the lesions, and they're these dark spots. I'll post them for you guys on the video. So Matt sent a picture, and immediately he said, did you guys get a storm? And Matt said, you know, it was the craziest thing. About like 6 o'clock this morning, Andrea and I both woke up to the loudest crack of lightning and thunder. I remember it vividly. We both jolted awake. Matt said, did you hear that? And I said, yeah, it was lightning. And I said, it sounded like it hit the farm. And we looked out the window and I didn't, you know, see anything. And so we woke up and we went about our day. And after I milked on Tuesday morning, I got in the side-by-side and I went down the drive like I always do. I was in a hurry because we were going to a friend's house to go swimming, and I wanted to check on the baby pigs because we had just put them back to pasture with our mom. And so I went and I checked on them, and I counted everybody and got heads, and I looked past the pig pasture and I saw Sarge and he was barking, and I saw Remy. I saw a white body of Remy laying in the pasture, and I didn't think anything of it. I saw cattle, but I didn't count heads. And then I turned around and went on. We went to a friend's house, we swam, we came back home. It's early afternoon. I got dinner going. Matt came home and then went to feed animals. Dr. Joe said, Matt, I'm pretty sure your animals were struck by lightning. Can you go to your pasture and check? So he said, yeah, absolutely. So he went out there, and sure enough, their shelter that's in their pasture has damage. The nails are completely melted. They were struck by lightning.
I don't know, it either entered, it didn't enter up here. It could have entered anywhere and it exited here or entered here, I don't know, but.
Brisket was laying inside of the shelter. Sirloin was laying on the outside of the shelter, leaning against it. And Remy was about 15 yards away in the grass. If anybody knows about lightning, it hits a point, it comes down, it grounds, and it shoots through the ground. So our animals, they were struck by lightning. And it's a hard pill to swallow, because it's sad. But it is a blessing that they felt no pain. They died immediately. And it is also a blessing to know that there's no disease. Our land is okay. They were not poisoned. That they died of natural causes. It doesn't take the pain away in our hearts. Our poor sergeant is lost without his Remy. And it's a tough loss for us. So we're coping. And we're getting through it. Because life goes on. And the farm doesn't stop. But it's been a hard week here. Really hard week. And, hey baby. You wanna come out? And we miss our Remy.
I was wondering what you were doing, because I saw you standing in bed a couple minutes ago, and then I saw you standing in bed.
We were just telling everybody what happened this week. And how it was a hard week, right? We laid Remy to rest under a really big live oak, right? And it's a spot where we can go and visit her all the time. And it's beautiful. And we kept her collar and washed it, right? And we're sad for her loss, but we know that she didn't suffer, right? And that's a blessing. So through the pain, God has been good, right? And we know it's part of this crazy homesteading journey that we're on, huh? Is losing animals that we really care deeply about and that connect to our hearts. This morning we spent a lot of time looking at pictures and videos, didn't we, buddy? Of Remy. And I'll post some of them here for you at the end of this video so you can see our little girl doing what she did best, right? Do you have a favorite Remy story?
The fence line. The time there was a turtle at the fence line, and she was barking at it, and it was in its shell, like, freaked out, because it was digging a hole.
Into her pasture, huh?
Yeah, and she was barking at it, and it was so freaked out. She was just being so funny.
She would not quit, huh?
Yeah,
That
she
turtle
did
was like,
not
I'm sorry, where do I go? Right? My favorite was when she was little. She was probably like 8 months old, and somebody drove up onto our property. And man, Remy, she was tough cookie, wasn't she? She protected me at all costs, even though she was tiny, even though she was little. She wasn't even full grown yet, right? And she got between the truck and I, and she wouldn't let that man get out of his truck. Rightfully so, because I'm pretty sure he wasn't up to any good. She was a good dog, a really good dog. She understood her assignment really quickly, right? She did a great job at it. She's a hard worker out here. And she loved her animals. She's a good girl. Well, thank y'all for letting us be real with you. We're going to share real life out here, right? And sometimes it's not always good, is it? Sometimes it comes with a lot of pain and heartbreak. But we know it's where we're supposed to be. Right? So we thank you guys for following along. We thank you for letting us do real life with you, not fake life. Because that's what we're committed to out here. Being real and honest and vulnerable when we need to be. And this week was a rough week, but we're going to move through it. We're going to get past it. And we're going to thank God for everything that we have. And we're going to put a grounding rod somewhere so it doesn't happen again, because we live and we learn, you know. And I text Matt a couple pictures of him and Remy this morning, and he sent me a text back, and he said, we're learning fast out here, babe. And we're just going to keep on growing and learning, right? God's got us, and that's the best news out of all of it. So we thank you for joining us. Do you see the cardinals? Look how beautiful. You see it in the, look, there's the female. Look. Look. And you see the male, he's up in the tree right here. There's cardinals flying around everywhere, and they're absolutely beautiful. That's why homesteading is so incredible, because through the pain and the loss, there's always beauty, always. And there's something to bring us back to the beauty of everything. So we're going to keep our chins up. We're going to keep putting one foot in front of the other. And we're going to be grateful for this life, the good, bad, all of it, every single bit. So we'll see you next time. And until then, enjoy some pictures and videos of Remy, sirloin, and brisket. Oh my God. We have a baby. Good mama, Lila Mae. That's a good mama. That's a good mama. Oh, that's a good mama, Lila Mae. Oh, that's a good girl. Oh my God. Thank Thank you, Jesus, for a healthy baby. Oh, good girl, Hattie. Heads out, good girl. Oh, oh my God, Noah. You see it? Oh my God. Okay. Are we breathing? Let's breathe. Come on. Clear that nose. Okay. Okay.
Take a piece of grass and shove it up his nose. See that this means.
Okay.
Boy.
Yeah.
Shoot!
Boy.
Dang it.
Okay. Hi. Hi, handsome. Happy birthday. Oh, good girl, Hattie. Good girl, Hattie. Good girl.
How far we get out of her thing?
Hey, Brisket. How you like the big boy pasture? How you like it? You're so cute.
Did Brisket have his bottle?
You're so cute. No, we give it to him tonight. You want some grain? You get some grain. Go get some. Go get some. Hi, everybody. Brownie. You being big goat out here? Archie. That's fine. Give him some lovin's. We need to teach them this is their safe place. Noah, that gate is not latched, so can you please latch it for me? Thanks, baby. Just flip it around there, just to where they're not gonna get out. All right, Brisket.
Brambles collar off.
He's okay. Brisket is getting too big for this. I have to have both hands. Noah, you want to do the camera? I have to have both hands for Brisket. You can show. Uh-oh, what happened?
This isn't even gonna work.
Camera. Camera. There we go. You ready?
He's a hungry boy.
Loudmouth sirloin.
What do you want, sirloin?
Look at Bramble.
Brandy Lansy. Can you get in your bottle?
And Yoda. Don't forget Yodi.
Oh, hey, Yoda. Who you at, love? Want to say hi? You don't want to say hi? Want to say hi? Oh, you said hi. You said hi. You said hi. Good job. Hello, Archie. Hey, you just licked the camera. You just licked the camera.
No biting, Yoda. Hey, no biting. Archie. Archie. Archie.
Uh-oh. What about Tony? That's the Tony boy. Yes, that's the Tony boy. And this is the Frankie boy. The Frankie. Where's Rowan? Oh, wait, I forgot. Remy, what are you doing out there, huh? What are you doing out here? Well, she doesn't want to come say hi. Ooh, I think I see some slobber.
Alright. We got Archie, we got Brisket, we got Sirloin, we got Remy, Frankie T, Tony, Yoda, and Bramble.
Done, done.
Remy, you don't want to be white anymore? Hmm? Remy, sit. 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 Good girl. It's a good girl. What happened to you, huh? All right, easy. Good girl. Are you so happy? Oh! Are you so happy? Oh my goodness. Hey, handsome. You're so handsome. You're so handsome. Yes, you are. Sorry. Well, knocked my phone right out. Yeah, you did. Hey, Rem. Hey, pretty girl. Okay, get down. Get down. Good morning.
Hi, Remy.
Hey, pretty girl. Hey, pretty girl. No, really. Hey, yummy dinner? Yummy dinner? Good girl, Remy. Come here. Remy.